Dudes, what's up? In this one, we're going to be building this super crazy auto smelter that you do not need any fuel for. It's an infinite fuel source because of this carpet duplication glitch that is currently in 1.17.1. Now, this thing will fuel 38 furnaces. I think it's 38 furnaces with the amount of carpet that it makes, which is how many we're actually going to put in here. Actually, I think we're just short of that. I think we have 36. This is similar to my other auto smelting furnace, auto furnace super smelter that I've made a video on in the past, where the carts go up here, they get released, and then these mine carts pick up the items to smelt right here, which is sand. They'll drop them in as the fuel source. But the difference is that now we have this carpet fuel source, this infinite fuel source, hooked up to the back end here, and I worked on this for about 20 hours just trying to perfect it. In those 20 hours, I tried to make this thing as simple as possible, as cheap as possible, and as efficient as possible. And the rates you're gonna get from this thing are about 13,000 items per hour, which means that you're gonna get 3.6 items smelted every single second. So that is absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy. I'm really happy with this, and I think that everyone should make this in their world. I'm gonna show all the materials that you need on the screen right now, but the materials on the screen don't include the 7 minecarts that you need. So you do need 7 minecarts along with 4 water sources. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do here is put the collection system down. Now you may actually want to make it more than just a double chest like that, but I'm just gonna put a double chest, and then we're gonna put 20 hoppers in a row just going in one direction. 20. Okay, so that's 20 hoppers long, just like that. And we're also gonna have to think about where the other hopper line is going to come from, or the other line of furnaces, because we're literally just gonna put the furnaces on top of these hoppers. So we want 2 spaces in between the hoppers, so just like this, 1, 2, as you can see, and then we're gonna make this hopper line end where the other hopper line ends. When you're done, it should look like this with both the hopper lines at the same length. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start on the back end, and we're gonna shift click all the furnaces on top of our hoppers just like this. And we're gonna put 18 furnaces down on both this hopper line and that hopper line. When you're done putting down the furnaces, it should look like this, 18 furnaces on top of the hoppers in a line just like that. Now we're gonna shift click hoppers into the back of each of the furnaces just like this. And we're also going to shift click hoppers on the top of all the furnaces just like this. Now the hoppers that go on top of the furnace are gonna put what we are smelting into the furnace. So let's say sand or iron ore, something along those lines. And then the hoppers going into the back of the furnace are going to be the fuel source, which in our case is going to be the carpet. So now the build should look like this, with hoppers going to the back and the top of the furnace. Now we can start with the trail of the hopper minecarts that's going to be putting in our item that we're smelting. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then this is number 1, and then 2, 3, and then this is number 1, and then 2, 3, and then this is number 1, and then 2, 3. So just like that, it should look like kind of a weird double L thingy. So then in the back of the L, we do need a solid block just like that. And by the way, I'm using iron blocks as the building block, but you can actually use any solid block that you want. I'm also using glass. You can use any block that you want. I just like using glass so that I can see inside of the farm, just because I like being able to see inside and what's going on. Then we are going to make a tube to hold all the hopper minecarts, and we're going to make this 9 high starting from this block right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you just make the tube all the way up. Now we are gonna break this block right here, and we're gonna replace it with an observer. So to get in there, we kind of got to finagle our way in just like that. We're gonna put a fence gate in there just like that. Now that's gonna hold up the hopper minecarts and then drop them when we are supposed to. And then we also need to put a piston facing upwards just like this. Now that is what we're gonna put redstone into to actually trigger the observer and put one of the hopper minecarts through the fence gate. Now we have our glass tube and a little bit of redstone down here. What we can do is we can start to connect up our little road here to the top of where the tube is. Now, you need to keep in mind that rails can't both turn and go upwards. So we're gonna have to put one flat place right there, and then we can continue our staircase up just like this, and hopefully that gets us high enough. And it does if we break that top piece of glass, because now they'll just be able to shoot up there and go down into the tube. Now, to complete this circuit of where the track is going to go for all these hopper minecarts, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this out a few just like this, and then bring it back in. These on the end, we're going to have another minecart trail along these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it by one, because if you make this last hopper the last spot where the hopper minecart bounces back, sometimes that hopper will only get one item, and we need that hopper to get 2 items every single time it passes. So a good fix for this is to just put one extra block right here for the hopper minecart to bounce off of, and then go back the other way. And we can't have this block that it bounces off of also be this block right here, unless we're gonna make this a power rail, because then the rails try and link up, and we don't want them to link up. So we're gonna go ahead and do it like this. Now we're gonna make the area where the hopper minecart actually picks up the item that we're gonna be smelting. So what we're gonna do is go 1, 2 out, then make this 3 tall. I think it just has to be that many tall. Let's go ahead and put in the chest. The chest does need to be right here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our rail. I think this one has to be a power rail, and we're gonna make it go up like that. Then we can break that. We can put that block back down just like that. Now those can be the power rail. This actually needs to link up, so we're gonna have to go like that. I did mess up my power rail there, so I'm gonna put that back like so. And then that can be another power rail. So we do need to look like this, where there's power rails going into the rails that look like this. We're gonna go ahead and make this one a power rail as well, and then we can make these little curvy rails like that, and then the rest of these along the top are going to be power rails. So let's go ahead and put in all of these power rails all the way across until we get here, and then we can put in our normal rails until we get back here, and then we can put in our power rails again all the way along the top of here. Now once you get in all the power rail and you get up to this point, this one does need to be a normal rail, but then we can go ahead and use power rails again all the way until we get to the top here. Now I like putting this last one as a normal rail just for good luck, just like that. Now to power these power rails, what we need to do is power any of these blocks underneath. Now you can replace one of these blocks with a full redstone block, or you can just go ahead and put a lever on the side and power that block. Now I have a lot of redstone blocks that are powering these rails like that, just because it's easy. So if you have the redstone, you can definitely do that. But an alternative, if you don't have as much redstone, is to go ahead to go in here, find where you want the power source, and then go ahead and just put a lever on it so that you can power all of these redstone, the power rails with this powered block. Now what that lever does on that block, on that solid block, is it goes ahead and makes it a powered block. So it's essentially like the same thing as a redstone block, so you can go like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that with these. We're gonna put one underneath there to give that one power, and then we're also gonna put one underneath this block right there to give that one power. So now we need to lock the hopper minecart in this spot right here for a little bit while it picks up the all the items that it wants to smelt. So we're gonna go ahead and put an observer and then the fence gate just like that. And then we're gonna put a solid block right here, and then another piston going like that. So now all we have to do is power this block right here, and it's gonna trigger both of those fences at the same time. Oh, I almost forgot to power these guys under here as well. So put a lever under there, make sure these rails right here are powered. We don't actually need this lever here. We are gonna put a hopper clock right here. So what this is gonna look like is we need a repeater. We're gonna put the repeater right there, a redstone dust, and then the hopper clock is going to be right here. So right down here is where we're gonna put our comparator. Comparator is gonna be right like that. Now we need the 2 hoppers going into each other like so. Then we need the other comparator right here going into this solid block. Now we get sticky piston right there, and a sticky piston right there, and a redstone dust. Now before we finish the hopper clock, let's go ahead and put a block right here and then power it just to stop the hopper clock from actually moving. And we can put our redstone block in the middle there. That actually does need to be a redstone block. And then we can put 4 items in there just like that. And that's going to be the perfect amount of time for this farm. Also make sure these hoppers are facing into each other like that. Now we can put our hopper minecarts into place. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 hopper minecarts in place, and now we can actually turn this on, and it's going to stay there for enough time to pick up the amount of items that it needs to put into the furnaces, and then those are going to go up to the top and back into our little tube there to be collected so that they can get more items, then go out again. Now I'm also going to add 1 block here, just like that, like we did to the other side for this rail. We're going to do the same here, which means that we do need to move that lever. So I'll go ahead and let's do this instead. Let's put a block on top so it doesn't get in the way of anything. And then we can go ahead and power that. Because if I put one on bottom right here, it's also going to power this hopper, which is going to make sure that the hopper doesn't let any items through. Let's just go ahead and put it on top to make it easier on ourselves. I'm going to move the power source that we put down earlier. We're going to move it over so that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the 7th hopper in from the left side, just like that. And we want to do that on both sides. Now that's going to be important later on, so just go ahead and put that there. Now that we have that in place, what we can do is we can put in all of our power rail on this second line of hoppers. That's going to be putting all of the fuel into place, and as soon as you start to see them, the rails not be powered, we're going to put in normal rails until this last spot right here. That one needs to be a power rail, and then we're just going to follow that same design on this side as well, this array of the furnaces. Now we need to put a sticky piston that is facing down 3 blocks above, so that's 2. So right there on that spot right there, I'm going to put 1 more so that I can make this one facing down. Then we can get rid of those temporary blocks just like that. And then we can put a redstone block on there. That does need to be a redstone block. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and then we can do another sticky piston just like that, and then another redstone block. And we can actually keep all of we can keep these blocks here as well. Now to power these, we're going to need a redstone torch, which when it's off, this redstone torch will be off, which is fine. And we're going to take a power source off of that redstone torch that is currently off. And we're going to run redstone along the top here. So now when we turn it on, it's going to make those pistons go down, and then those tracks down below will be powered. So now what we can do is we can put in our hopper minecart down into these spots right here. We can flip this lever, and now all of the minecarts will be going continuously. And now all we need to do is put in the fuel source. Now for the fuel source, what we're going to do is put another redstone torch. Now this one will stay on, and we can go ahead and put a solid block right there. And then we can put our redstone dust, put another solid block on top, so that now that is powered. So now we're going to grab a sticky piston. We're going to put down our sticky piston just like that. And now it's time for us to actually make the carpet duplicator. We're going to make this 5 slime blocks high. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we're going to do is we are going to put this dead coral fan. Now this can be any type of dead coral fan. There's several different types of dead coral fans. And then we're going to go ahead and put the carpets on top. And it should be 4 carpets. So it should look just like that. Now we need to surround this and make a tube for it so we don't lose any of the items. So with the leaves, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just surround this. And we're using leaves because they won't stick to the slime blocks and because they're cheap. So it's not hard to get leaves. All you need to do is take shears to a tree, and then you can go ahead and get all of the leaves off of that tree and make this farm with those leaves. And we do want 1 block below the ground right here, or below the coral fan, so that we can catch all of the carpets so that they don't get stuck up here, something weird. We can also run water below it. Also, when it's extended, there should be a gap right here. Otherwise, some of the carpets will phase through that glass. So as long as you build it how I'm building it right here, you'll be good. And then we need to bring up this wall just like this so that we don't lose any of the carpet. And then we can do the same thing on the other side, just like that. We do need to leave a gap here because we're going to be running all of the carpet out of here with water streams. So now we want to think where we actually want the hopper minecarts to pick up all the carpets. And we want it to be 9 in from the side because we want it to be roughly in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put the block right there. That's where we're going to have all the carpet actually land. And then we're going to make a tube upwards like this. And go ahead and start that. But then we want to think about how we want the stream to get here. So it should look something like this. We're gonna have 2 water streams here. This water stream is gonna go to the other side, and then this water stream is going to end up right here in this stream. So then we can make a tube like this, come back this way, and now this is the tube that's gonna be going down into there. Now we need a half slab. It can be any half slab, just make sure it's on the top of the block. Now this is gonna allow all of the carpet to actually go down under this, and there's not going to be water in here, so the items won't float. Let's go ahead and do this on the other side as well, and then we'll make the stream to actually get them there. So let's go ahead and bring up this tubing just like that. We'll go ahead and put that slab right there, and then we need this stream that's actually going to get it over here. So that's going to be this one right here. So we want to keep this up high until it gets here. Now this is going to be where this stream picks it up and then puts it over here. So we're gonna go like that and go like that to make sure that it goes into the stream, and then we can just cover up the top like so. Now this is also gonna have a border right here, so we can have our water streams. This is gonna be a border like so, just like that, and that's gonna be a border. So we want these 2 streams to be open. What we're going to do is we're going to put a half slab right there. We're going to cover up the top so we don't lose any of the carpet. So now all we need to do is go ahead and put our water streams in. We're going to need 4 to do this. Let's start with these lower ones. We want a water stream down on that piece of glass, and we want a water stream down on that piece of glass. So I can put those glass back now. And then we just want the 2 water streams that are in here. So when we get our water, we can put one there and one there. We're going to put one on both those spots. And now that's the water stream. So the water streams bring down, they're going to separate. Half are going to go down into this tube, and half are going to go down into this tube. This was kind of hard for me to figure out. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to not get them in the hoppers, because then the hoppers clog everything, but then also how to split them with water streams. So this was the best solution I came up with, and it works really well. Actually, we want to keep this open so that we don't lose any of the items. So then we can just go ahead and close it up like that. And now all the items will end up flowing down into that spot right there. Actually, we also need that top slab right there. So yeah, so it's going to go like that. Those top slabs stop the water flow. It's going to push all the items into the stream and put them down there. These ones are going to go down into there. Now, the last thing we need to do is to make sure that this is going to be a continuous pulse. So we do that with an observer facing backwards and a solid block right there. So that's the last thing we need to do. So this farm should be all done. We can go ahead and put some fuel in here. And then when we press or use that lever to turn the farm on, you can see all the carpets are going to go into the correct place. The hopper minecarts are going to pick them up. The hopper minecarts are running the sand over the top. And then it is going to fill up all of the furnaces with the items to smelt and the fuel. Now, something you should do that I recommend is to actually prime the farm. So if you turn it off and break that redstone right like that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a bunch of carpet down here. Now, when you get the carpet built up down here, then you can go ahead and put the redstone back. But once you get that back and then press the lever or switch the lever, then those are going to be able to fill up all of the furnaces just like that, and then it's going to be continuous. Sorry if I sounded a little bit low energy today. I'm not really feeling the best today, but I really wanted to get this video out because I think this farm design is awesome. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I hope you have no problem making this and using it in your world, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.